Hello everyone, it's your buddy Sven here, once again coming at you with another Hearthstone video. Now today I wanted to talk about something that just recently kind of became known to us in this past week. So we're taking a little bit of a moment, and I know I said that I'll be off fighting normal, standard people, and that'll come next week. But this is a very important thing to notice. Hearthstone will be implementing formats at some point in the future. There will be two formats. There will be standard and wild. Standard is meant to kind of keep the game all fresh. Here, let's go ahead and zoom in on this a little bit. Let you guys go ahead and read this. Yes, so, all the little text is visible here. So, Standard is apparently going to try to keep the game exciting and new, and then Wild will basically be Standard Hearthstone. Now, one of the biggest questions is going to be, what is Standard going to be then? Standard, as Battle.net says right here, Standard is a new format and play mode that allows players to go head-to-head using only the most recently released Hearthstone cards. You'll play Standard using a deck solely built from a pool of cards that were released in the current and previous calendar year. So, for example, we'll be able to play things from 2015 and 2016. Goes about as far back as Blackrock Mountain. I believe Curse of Naxxramas and GVG would be out then. So no Boom and no Belcher. That'll be interesting to see, because those cards have become somewhat staples. Along with a core foundation of the basic and classic card sets, because that would have been the biggest thing, is we would lose out on all of classic under that timeline rule, which will always be valid for standard. That's good to know. So those basic and classic cards will always be valid. It will match against other players who are using standard decks. That's good that it won't intermingle standard and all that stuff. So, fresher Hearthstone experience. Wild will be wild because that's just the standard Hearthstone. Pew pew. Ranking up, you rank up separately. So you have a separate rank. So you could be in standard, you could be rank 17, and in wild, you could be rank 4. And then at the end of the season, it'll grade you based on your higher rank. So it'll take your wild rank of 4 as opposed to your standard rank of 17. That's really cool. So if you don't like standard format, go play wild. Go ahead and have a great time. If you like the idea of a streamlined, almost ban-listed format, go play standard. I'm going to be messing around in both. I'll go ahead and do some videos with some certain decks that'll work in standard. I'll be working a lot on this stuff, and I'll be trying my best to help you guys succeed in both formats. Now, time for reflection. Arrival of standard format will also be an excellent time for us to take stock of Hearthstone. While normally we're quite conservative about making balance changes and will continue to be in the future, we're planning to take the new Hearthstone year as a golden opportunity to reevaluate a number of cards in the basic and classic sets, including class cards, and make some long-considered adjustments. That's really promising to me because there are a few cards which are really bad and a few cards which are just really, really good. So we'll have to see how that gets, reiterated. That'll be very interesting to see. More information on which cards are changing will be available as we draw nearer to the format arrival. We're getting more deck slots finally. We're getting 18 deck slots. That is so fantastic to hear. People, ever since the start of Hearthstone, have wanted more deck slots. So we're finally getting it. Prior to the arrival of Standard, we've got a buff plan for your collection manager. If you've unlocked all 9 heroes, you'll also unlock 9 more deck slots, raising it to 18. That makes me so happy. So ridiculously happy, because I like to play a lot of different decks. I like to play a lot of iterations of different classes. I play a lot of different paladins, so the 9 was kind of restrictive. 18 is going to do a lot better at that. Release the Kraken, standard format will arrive, and this will allow you to use basic, classic. I was right about Blackrock Mountain, Grand Tournament, League of Explorers, and this is hinting to a spring 2016 expansion. That is really exciting because we're coming up on spring. That's like next month or so. That's going to be really, really exciting. I'm very, very, very hyped up for that. Curse of Nax and Goblins and Gnomes will not be a part of Standard. When we release the first new expansion each year, every set that wasn't released in the same year will cycle out. So if there's an expansion that you really like down the road, like in 2017 or something like that, and you were a big fan of Blackrock Mountain or Grand Tournament or something like that, those will get cycled out, so you'll have to go play those in Wild. Gone Wild, adventures and expansions that are not part of the standard format will no longer be able to be purchased from the shop. This year, that includes Naxxramas and Goblins and Gnomes. So if you don't have Curse of Naxxramas or anything from Goblins and Gnomes, you can craft the stuff from Goblins and Gnomes just fine. But I would recommend getting a wing of Curse of Naxxramas, 700 gold. Kind of pricey unless you wanted to go pay your actual real hard-earned cash for that. If you want any cards that you missed out on Wild, you will be able to craft them using Arcane Dust, even cards from Adventures that were previously uncraftable. So Poison Seeds you're going to be able to craft. That's going to be really, really nice. So if you really want Sludge Belcher and you didn't get the chance to get Curse of Necromancy, you'll be able to just go out and craft Belcher. That's going to be really cool. Speaking of adventures, if you purchased at least the first wing of an adventure before it cycles out, I knew that part ahead of time. You can finish acquiring and playing the remaining wings. So just get wing 1 of the expansions and you'll be good to go. We're pumped. We've worked hard. That's really exciting. Honestly, I'm kind of in favor of this. It'll be interesting to see how it goes forward, and I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below. So please leave a comment down below about your thoughts about Standard and Wild, and if you have any questions for me, leave those down below as well. Anywho, if you like what you saw in the video, please leave a like down below. Helps me out so very much. And if you want to see Hearthstone videos every Saturday, and I will be getting into honest gameplay, and I've been teasing you guys long enough about it. Next week, there will be honest gameplay. I will be playing some matches. I'll be playing the Tavern Brawl leading into it, and then I'll have some standard matches after. If that interests you, hit the big red button down below, subscribe to my channel, and you'll see my videos the moment they come out. Anywho, this has been Sven. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.